Hello and welcome. My name is Jordan Smith, and I work in the Communication Department here at Adventist Risk Management, or ARM for short. I'm so glad you've decided to join me for this training session. At ARM, we're passionate about empowering churches with tools and resources they need to create secure environments. This training session is a part of that mission. Together, we're going to explore how you can use the toolkit we provided to not only enhance safety, but also foster a culture of care and preparedness in your church. The purpose of this training session. This session is about making safety accessible and actionable. I'll show you how to use the resources in your toolkit, including standard operating procedures and digital tools to implement safety measures effectively. This isn't just a passive learning experience. You'll have opportunities to pause, take action, and apply what you're learning throughout the session. By the end, you'll have clear, practical steps to build a safety program that fits your church's unique needs. Here are 4 areas we're going to focus on during this session. How to assemble and train a safety team tailored to your church's requirements. How to create tools like property maps and emergency plans. How to plan and execute drills to ensure your team and congregation are prepared. How to evaluate and refine your processes for continuous improvement. Training session objectives. On-screen title, Training Session Objectives. By the end of this training session, you'll be able to accomplish 3 important things. 1, you'll be able to take confident action. You'll know how to use the toolkit to implement safety measures step by step. 2, you'll be able to build preparedness. You have the confidence to lead initiatives like team training, safety drills, and emergency planning. And finally, 3, create a culture of safety. This isn't just about completing tasks. It's about establishing a mindset of proactive care that aligns with your church's mission and values. This training session is designed to be practical and approachable, giving you everything you need to get started. I'm excited to guide you through this process. When you're ready, we'll dive into the first section, Assembling Your Safety Team. Section 1, Assembling Your Missing Child Drill Safety Team. Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Let's start by breaking this into 3 key areas: recruiting your safety team, screening volunteers, and assigning preliminary roles. Phase 1, recruiting the team members. The first phase in assembling your missing child drill team is identifying the individuals who will fill the critical roles. These include zone searchers. They're responsible for systematically searching designated areas of your church. Parent liaison. Communicates directly with parents during drills or emergencies. Communication coordinator. Tracks updates and relays information during the drill. Child safety drill leader. Oversees the drill's execution, ensuring all team members carry out their responsibilities effectively. And finally, the child protection coordinator. Let's take a moment to talk more about this key role. The role of a child protection coordinator. The child protection coordinator is an integral part of the church's safety team. While they may not be heavily involved in the execution of specific drills, such as the missing child drill, their role is to focus on the big picture of child safety within the church. The CPC is responsible for overseeing policies, programs, and procedures that create and maintain a safe environment for children in your community. The CPC works closely with other members of the safety team, which may include, but are not limited to, the safety officer, the crisis communication coordinator, and the emergency preparedness lead. Together, these individuals form a cohesive team addressing various aspects of the church's overall safety strategy. When it comes to a missing child drill, the CPC plays a supportive role, ensuring that child safety remains a priority across all preparedness activities. However, leadership and execution of emergency drills, such as fire drills and earthquake drills, often fall under the responsibility of the emergency preparedness lead. who oversees all types of emergency response exercises. That said, the CPC's input is critical to ensuring the missing child drill aligns with the broader safety goals. This drill is just one aspect of the larger safety plan which the CPC helps design and monitor. Now that we've highlighted the Child Protection Coordinator's role, let's return to the overall missing child drill team that you're building. Revisiting the missing child drill team roles. Each of these roles, zone searchers, parent liaisons, communication coordinator, child safety drill leader, and child protection coordinator, is essential to creating a comprehensive safety framework. To help guide your decisions as you recruit for these positions, I provided a document that outlines detailed job descriptions, reporting structures, and key responsibilities for each position. Please take a moment to familiarize yourself with these descriptions if you haven't already. Understanding these roles will help ensure you're building a team that is prepared, effective, and aligned with your church's safety mission. Phase 2. Screening volunteers. This step is not only a best practice, it's a policy mandated by the North American Division. Screening is essential to protect children from potential harm. Every volunteer working with children must be screened, and this process is overseen through the Sterling Volunteer Platform. Let's go through the steps for screening volunteers. Step 1. Create a new account for screening. Direct volunteers to the screening registration link. Volunteers will need to follow the instructions to create an account and begin the screening process. Step 2. Ensure completion of required training. Volunteers must complete the provided training modules as a part of the screening process. These modules include recognizing signs of abuse and understanding how to report concerns. Step 3. Track screening progress. Create and maintain a log of all volunteers, noting who has completed screening, who is in the process of being screened, and who has yet to start the screening process. This log is critical because your local conference will periodically review and confirm the number of screened volunteers at each church. Step 4. Review screening results. Once volunteers have completed the process, you'll receive confirmation through the Sterling Volunteer Platform. Verify that all necessary steps have been completed before assigning roles. Step 5. Follow up regularly. Make sure to revisit the screening log to confirm that all active volunteers remain compliant with NAD policies. Update your log as new volunteers join or roles change. Phase 3. Assigning preliminary roles. Once you've recruited and screened your volunteers, it's time to assign preliminary roles. At this stage, flexibility is key. Roles may evolve as team members become more familiar with their responsibilities. Use the provided job descriptions to guide your decision. For example, zone searchers will report to the child safety drill leader, who in return reports to the child protection coordinator. The parent liaison will work closely with parents during the drills and relay updates to the communication coordinator. The communication coordinator consolidates updates from all zones and communicates directly with leadership to ensure timely responses. This structure ensures clear accountability and smooth communication during drills and emergencies. Now it's your turn to take action. First, review the document with the detailed job description for each role. Then create a list of potential team members. Don't forget to start the screening process for all volunteers by directing them to the registration link and maintaining your log of progress. Once you've completed these steps, come back and we'll move on to the next section. I'll see you soon. Section 2. Organize the church property. Welcome back. Now that you've started assembling your safety team, let's move on to the next critical step, organizing your church property. This step is essential because having a clear, detailed property map will serve as the foundation for your safety plan. It's the key to efficient drills and effective emergency responses. In this section, we'll focus on 3 important areas. 1. Creating a comprehensive property map to capture both the interior and exterior layout of your church. 2. Developing zone checklists to guide systematic searches during drills or emergencies. 3. Preparing your team to use these tools confidently and effectively. Let's start with the property map. Phase 1. Creating church property map. To create your property map, you'll combine your existing emergency exit map with a Google map of your property. This ensures you capture both the interior layout and the surrounding outdoor areas like parking lots, playgrounds, or entrances. Here's how to create your property map in 4 simple steps. Step 1. Start with your emergency exit map. Locate the emergency exit map you already have for your church. This map should include the interior layout of your building and evacuation routes. Step 2. Overlay with Google Map. Open Google Maps and search for your church's address. Switch to satellite view for a clear, detailed image of your property, including outdoor areas. Take a screenshot or save the image for use. Step 3. Combine the 2 maps. Use tools like Canva, Microsoft PowerPoint, or similar software to overlay your emergency exit map onto the Google Maps. This tool allows you to layer and align the images for complete view of your property. If you prefer, you can print both maps and create a hand-drawn overlay. Step 4. Add key details. Label each zone of your property: sanctuary, parking lot, playground. Highlight high-risk areas such as storage closets, restrooms, or confined spaces. Mark emergency access points, entrances, and exits clearly. This combined map will be the foundation for your safety team's planning and response efforts. Phase 2. Developing zone checklist. Once your map is complete, the next step is familiarizing your team with the zone checklist included in the toolkit. These checklists are step-by-step guides that your team will use systematically searching areas of your church during the drill or emergency. Let's walk through how to use this checklist effectively. Understand the areas to search. Each checklist includes a detailed list of areas to check within a specific zone. Examples might include under pews, behind doors, inside closets. Encourage your team to thoroughly review the checklist for their assigned zone to ensure no area is overlooked. Follow safety precautions. The checklist also highlights important safety precautions for your team members, such as avoiding cluttered or unstable areas, being cautious when checking confined spaces, reinforcing the importance of prioritizing personal safety while conducting zone searches. Mark zones as cleared. The checklist includes a designated space to mark when a zone has been fully searched. This helps track progress and ensure accountability during the drill. Encourage team members to clearly and promptly mark zones as cleared once their search is complete. Why the zone checklist is important. The zone checklist provides structure and accountability, ensuring no area is overlooked during a drill or emergency. It's a straightforward, easy-to-use tool that helps your team stay focused and reduces errors or confusion in high-pressure situations. Take a moment to review the provided checklist with your team. Walk them through its layout and its key elements. Practice using the checklist during a walkthrough in your church property so everyone feels confident and prepared. Phase 3. Preparing your team. Once your map and checklist are ready, it's time to train your team on how to use them. Here's how you can ensure everyone is prepared. Distribute copies. Provide printed or digital copies of the map and checklist to all team members. Review the map together. Walk your team through the zones, pointing out high-risk areas, emergency access points, and other important details. Demonstrate the checklist. Show team members how to use the checklist during a drill, emphasizing the importance of thorough searches and clear communication to ensure no areas are missed. This step ensures that your team feels confident and prepared. When everyone understands how to use the tools, they'll be better equipped to respond effectively in any situation. Now it's time to take action. Spend the next 10 to 15 minutes starting your property map. Use your emergency exit map and your Google map of your church property to create a combined view. If you're comfortable, try using a tool like Canva or PowerPoint to layer the images. Don't worry about making it perfect right now. Just focus on getting the basic layout in place. When you're ready, come back and we'll move on to the next section. Section 3, Developing Scenarios and Scheduling Drills. Welcome back. Now that you've organized your church property and prepared your tools, we're ready to take the next step, developing scenarios and scheduling drills. This is where all your preparation begins to take shape as a practical, actionable plan. The purpose of this step is to help your team practice their roles in a realistic situation. By simulating real-world challenges, you'll not only test their readiness, but also identify areas for improvement. In this section, we'll focus on 3 key areas. Area 1, developing realistic scenarios that test your team's ability. Area 2, scheduling your drills to ensure regular practice and readiness. And Area 3, preparing for success on drill day with step-by-step logistics. Let's dive into the first area, developing realistic scenarios. Phase 1, developing realistic scenarios. Realistic scenarios are the foundation of any meaningful drill. They allow your team to practice their roles in a controlled but authentic environment. To create a scenario, follow these steps. Step 1, use the drill scenario template. Begin with a drill scenario template provided in your toolkit. This template organizes all the necessary details and ensures your scenario is complete and easy for your team to follow. Step 2, describe the missing child in detail. Provide a detailed description of the missing child to ensure your team practices gathering and using the right information. This should include the following. Basic identifying information. This includes name, date of birth, age, and birthplace. Physical description. Height, weight, build, hair color, eye color. Clothing description. For example, Daniel Brown, a 6-year-old boy, was last seen wearing a white button-up shirt with a navy blue cardigan, gray dress pants, and black dress shoes. Distinguishing features. Unique identifiers like birthmarks, scars, or accessories. For example, Daniel has a small birthmark on the back of his neck and was carrying a small Bible with a red cover. Medical information. Known conditions, medications, or allergies. For example, Daniel has asthma and carries an inhaler in his backpack. Also include a recent clear photo of the missing child. Here's what a complete description might look like. Daniel Brown, a 6-year-old boy, is missing. He's approximately 4 feet tall, weighs 50 pounds, and has a slim build. He has short brown hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a white button-up shirt with a navy blue cardigan, gray dress pants, and black dress shoes. Daniel has a small birthmark on the back of his neck and was carrying a small Bible with a red cover. He also has asthma and carries his inhaler with him. Step 3, add realistic challenges. Introduce complexities to make the scenario more engaging and effective, such as a door being unlocked, requiring immediate action to secure it, a crowded fellowship hall, making communication more difficult, delays in receiving information from a teacher or parent, testing the team's adaptability. By creating detailed, realistic scenarios, you prepare your team to handle emergencies with confidence and efficiency. Phase 2, scheduling drills. Once your scenario is ready, it's time for you to plan and schedule your drills. This ensures your team has regular opportunities to practice and refine their skills. Start with training drills. Plan at least one training drill before official safety Sabbath drill. This initial drill allows your team to 1. Practice their roles in a low pressure environment. 2. Identify areas where additional training or clarification is needed. And 3. Build confidence in using tools, maps, and protocols. Plan the safety Sabbath drill. This drill involves your entire congregation in practicing safety procedures. Communicate with the congregation. Announce the drill at least 2 weeks in advance. Use church announcements, newsletters, or social media to explain 1. The purpose of the drill, 2. What the congregation should expect, and 3. The importance of their participation in fostering a culture of safety. Set regular drill schedules. Safety isn't a one-time effort. Plan additional drills through the year to ensure your team remains sharp and your congregation stays familiar with emergency procedures. Phase 3, preparing for the drill. Preparation is the key to a successful drill. Before the drill day, take these steps. Step 1, review the scenario and roles. Meet with your team and review the scenario and their specific responsibilities. Walk through the process step by step to ensure everyone understands their role. Step 2, distribute tools and materials. Provide each team member with the necessary materials, including property maps, zone checklists, and any communication tools. Step 3, conduct a walkthrough. Practice the logistics of the drill. This might include where team members will report, how updates will be communicated, how to use code phrases like code amber discreetly, and how you're going to respond as team members and communicate with each other. Step 4, test your tools. Ensure all tools such as radios or any other digital tools like real-time logs are functional and ready for use. Step 5, set success metrics. Define what success looks like for the drill. For example, how quickly the missing child was found, how effective the team communicates and coordinates. Now it's your turn to take action. Spend the next 15 minutes drafting a scenario for your training drill. Use the drill scenario template to include key details like the child's description, the last known location, and the challenges you want to introduce. Then choose a date for your first drill and begin planning the logistics. When you're ready, hit play and we'll move on to the next section. Section 4, training your safety team. Welcome back. Now we're moving into one of the most critical phases, training your safety team. This is where you ensure your team has the knowledge, skills, and confidence to perform their roles effectively during a drill or an emergency. In this section, we'll focus on 4 key phases. Phase 1, reviewing roles and responsibilities to establish clarity and accountability. Phase 2, walking through each tool and SOP to ensure your team is fully equipped. Phase 3, conduct hands-on training to build practical experience. And Phase 4, running a practical drill to simulate a real-life scenario in a low-pressure environment. Let's begin with Phase 1, reviewing roles and responsibilities. Reviewing roles and responsibilities. Before your team can act, they need to fully understand their individual roles and how they fit into the bigger picture. Here are 3 ways to set them up for success. 1, distribute detailed role descriptions. Provide each team member with a printed or digital copy of their role description from the toolkit. This document outlines specific tasks for their role, who they report to and who they receive updates from, and expectations for communication and execution during a drill emergency. 2. Explains reporting structure. Walk through the hierarchy of communication to ensure everyone knows how updates flow during a drill. For example, zone searchers report to the drill leader. The parent liaison communicates with parents and updates the communication coordinator. The drill leader oversees all operations and reports to the child protection coordinator. 3. Clarify expectations for each role. Use real-world examples to explain what success looks like for each role. For instance, a zone searcher successfully clears their assigned areas and reports it. The communication coordinator logs updates and promptly ensures information is relayed to leadership. Encourage team members to ask questions and discuss their responsibilities to eliminate confusion and build confidence. Phase 2, walking through tools and SOP. To empower your team, they must fully understand how to use every tool and follow each standard operating procedure. Let's break this down into 4 tools and how to train your team to use them effectively. Tool 1, the church property map. Purpose. The map is essential because it guides zone searchers and leadership by clearly showing key areas of the church. This includes zones, exits, high-risk spots, and emergency access points. How to explain this to your team. Think of the map as your team's compass. It tells them exactly where to go, what areas to prioritize, and where critical emergency exits are located. Now let's discuss how you'll train your team to use this map. First, show team members how to interpret the layout. Walk them through the zone step by step, highlighting high priority areas that require immediate attention during a search. Finally, practice navigating the map under the time pressure so they feel confident using it in real situations. Tool 2, zone checklist. Purpose. Zone checklists ensure that no area within a zone is overlooked during a search. They provide structure and accountability. How to explain this to your team. The checklist is your safety net. Ensures every corner of your church is searched thoroughly so nothing is missed. Here's how you train your team to use the checklist. Start by reviewing a sample checklist and explaining how to mark areas cleared. Emphasize the importance of working systematically. This helps avoid duplicating efforts or missing critical areas. Role play a search using a checklist to simulate what they might experience during a real emergency. Tool 3, real-time log. Purpose. The real-time log is a record-keeping tool that tracks updates during a drill, including time logs, zone clearances, and key events. How to explain this to your team. Think of the real-time log as your playbook. It captures everything happening during the drill so leadership has a clear picture of what's been done and what is still in progress. To train your team to use the log effectively, demonstrate how to document progress accurately, step by step. Show how to prioritize updates so for the most critical information is relayed to the drill leader first. Provide examples of clear and complete log entries so your team knows exactly what to expect. Tool 4, communication protocols. Purpose. Clear communication is the backbone of any successful drill. Protocols ensure team members relay updates efficiently and without confusion. How to explain this to your team. Communication is what ties the entire process together. Without it, even the best plans can break down. To help your team master communication protocols, practice using code phrases like Code Amber to discreetly announce a missing child. Simulate relaying updates between zone searchers, the parent liaison, and the communication coordinator. Stress the importance of concise, clear updates to prevent misunderstandings or delays. By breaking down the purpose of each tool and walking your team through how to use them, you're ensuring that they feel confident, prepared, and ready to respond effectively in any situation. Let's move on to the next phase, hands-on training. Phase 3, conducting hands-on training. Now that your team understands their roles, tools, and SOPs, it's time to put that knowledge into practice. Here are 3 activities to run a hands-on training session effectively. Activity 1, property walkthrough. Lead your team on a walkthrough of the church property using the map to highlight zones, high-risk areas, and emergency access points. Practice navigating zones as if a search is in progress. Activity 2, simulate real-time updates. Assign roles and simulate a scenario. Have zone searchers report progress to the communication coordinator, who logs updates and relays them to the drill leader. Provide feedback on clarity and efficiency during the simulation. Activity 3. Run a mini scenario. Use one of the scenarios you've developed earlier. Guide your team step by step through their roles, correcting errors and reinforcing best practices. Phase 4. Running a practice drill. Final phase of training is running a practice drill. Here are 4 steps to conduct a successful practice drill. Step 1. Scenario briefing. Brief your team on the drill scenario, including details about the missing child, their last known location, and any challenges. Step 2. Execute the drill. Announce the drill using the code phrase, Code Amber. Allow the team to carry out their roles independently while you observe. Step 3. Evaluate performance. Use the assessment questionnaire from your toolkit to evaluate the team's performance in areas like communication, efficiency, and coordination. Step 4. Debrief and feedback. Gather your team for a post-drill debrief. Discuss what went well, what could be improved, and the next steps for additional training. Now it's your turn. Spend the next 15 minutes or so reviewing your tools and SOPs with your team. Walk through the church property map, practice using zone checklists, and review communication protocols. Once everyone feels comfortable, schedule your first hands-on training session. When you're ready, hit play and we'll move on to the next section. I'll see you soon. Section 5. Evaluating the drill and continuous improvement. Welcome back. Now that you've successfully executed your drill, it's time to focus on one of the most important phases, evaluating the drill and making continuous improvements. This phase allows you to take everything you've learned during the drill and use it to refine your processes, strengthen your team's performance, and improve overall preparedness. We'll break this phase into 4 key components. 1. Debriefing the team to reflect on successes and challenges while incorporating the assessment questionnaire. 2. Gather congregation feedback to understand their experience. 3. Refine your processes to address gaps and plan next steps. Let's start with the first component, debriefing the team. Phase 1, debriefing the team. After the drill, gather your team for a debriefing session while the experience is still fresh. This is a critical opportunity to reflect on what went well, identify challenges, and find opportunities for improvement. Here are 3 steps to effectively debriefing your team. Step 1, discuss successes and challenges. Start the conversation by highlighting the successes of the drill, recognizing team members for the contribution, and celebrating what worked well. Next, identify challenges, encouraging team members to share obstacles they faced and areas where they struggled. Step 2, incorporate the assessment questionnaire. Use the assessment questionnaire from your toolkit to guide your discussion. This tool helps evaluate team performance in 3 critical areas. Communication, were updates timely, clear, and accurate? Search efficiency, were zones thoroughly and systematically searched? Team coordination, did the team members collaborate effectively and follow protocols? Go through the questionnaire step by step, involving your team and answering the questions to ensure a comprehensive evaluation. Step 3, encourage open feedback. Create a safe space for honest, constructive feedback. Ask your team what they think worked well and what could be improved. Use their input to shape your plans for the next steps. By combining open discussion with structured evaluation tools like assessment questionnaires, you can gather valuable insights to improve future drills. Phase 2, gathering congregation feedback. Feedback from the congregation provides essential perspective on how the drill was perceived and whether it achieved its goals. Here are 3 steps to gathering congregation feedback effectively. Step 1, Use the congregation feedback form. This form allows members to share their experience, focusing on whether they felt informed and secure during the drill, the clarity and effectiveness of announcements and procedures, suggestions for improving future drills. Step 2, make feedback easy to access. Simplify the process of gathering feedback by providing a digital tool form that is accessible to everyone. Here are a few tools you can use to make this easy and effective. Google Forms, Microsoft Forms, SurveyMonkey, or Typeform. Display a QR code on screen during the debrief, directing congregation members to the feedback form. Encourage them to complete it immediately using their phones or devices. Step 3, analyze and incorporate feedback. Use the responses to identify trends and validate successes. For example, 80% of respondents felt informed during the drill, but 20% requested clearer pre-drill announcements. Phase 3, refining your processes. Using the findings from your team debrief, congregation feedback, refine your processes to ensure continuous improvement. Here are 3 actions you can take. 1. Update SOPs. Adjust or clarify procedures based on observed gaps during the drill. 2. Schedule follow-up training. Address specific challenges by organizing additional training sessions focused on areas like communication protocols or search efficiency. 3. Plan additional drills. Reinforce learning and maintain readiness by scheduling future drills that test improved procedures. Phase 4, documenting your findings. Finally, let's talk about documenting your findings. The one-page report template in your toolkit is a simple way to summarize your evaluation. Follow these 5 steps to complete your report. Step 1, highlight key takeaways. Summarize successes from the drill. For example, the team successfully cleared all zones in under 15 minutes and maintained clear communication throughout the process. Step 2, include metrics. Document critical performance data such as tool drill duration, number of zones cleared, and times taken to locate the missing child. Step 3, summarize areas for improvement. Highlight observed gaps. For instance, zone searchers in Area C experienced delays due to unclear radio communication. Step 4, outline next steps. Provide actionable recommendations such as schedule a training session focused on communication protocols, or conduct a follow-up drill to test improved search procedures. Step 5, visualize feedback data. Incorporate congregation feedback. For example, 80% of respondents felt informed, but 20% suggested adding more announcements before the drill. Now it's your turn. Take the next 10 minutes to complete a draft evaluation form for your drill. Use the assessment questionnaire and preparedness rubrics to assess performance and identify at least 2 areas for improvement. Consider how you'll incorporate congregation feedback into your evaluation process. Once you've completed your draft, join me for the final section, where we will focus on building a culture of continuous safety improvement. I'll see you soon. Conclusion. Congratulations, you've reached the conclusion of our training session. I hope this journey has equipped you with tools and confidence to build a culture of safety in your church. Your commitment to this process makes a lasting impact, not just for your safety team, but for your entire congregation. Let's take a moment to review what we covered and outline your next steps. Review and next steps. Throughout this training session, we walked through the processes of creating and implementing a safety plan for your church. Here's a quick recap of the 5 key phases we covered. Phase 1, assembling your safety team. We started with recruiting and screening volunteers, assigning roles, and establishing clear reporting structure. Phase 2, organizing the church property. You learn how to prepare a comprehensive property map, developing zone checklists, and ensuring your team is familiar with the layout and high-risk areas. Phase 3, developing scenarios and scheduling drills. We discuss how to craft realistic scenarios like the missing child drill and how to schedule regular training drills, including the Safety Sabbath drill. Phase 4, training your safety team. This phase focused on reviewing roles, walking through tools and SOPs, conducting hands-on training, and running practice drills to build confidence and preparedness. Phase 5, executing the drill and evaluating performance. Finally, we covered how to run the drill, gather team and congregation feedback using tools like QR codes, and refining your safety plan for continuous improvement. These phases provide a solid framework for fostering preparedness and building confidence within your church. Your next steps. Here are 3 steps that you can take as you move forward. Step 1, finalize your safety plan based on the tools and resources provided. Step 2, schedule your next drill and ensure your team feels confident and prepared. Step 3, access the Safety Sabbath 2025 Certification Hub to document your efforts, share your experience, and receive your church's certificate of completion. If you have any questions or need additional support, we're here to help. Check our website out at www.adventistris.org for additional resources. Your dedication to building a culture of safety sets a powerful example for your congregation and inspires others to take safety seriously. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Together, we're creating safer churches and stronger communities. I look forward to seeing the impact of your efforts and celebrating your success.